This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
QHD quality video streaming Samaga. Internet like a boss. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
IWS Aviation.
Now you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts.
Good evening, welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Sachin Ratnayaka. Let's look at the headlines first. External sector performance report for December 2021 shows tourism-fueled growth. Vavuniya campus declared as Vavuniya University. News in detail. According to the central bank's external sector performance report for December 2021, trade account deficit widened when compared to a year earlier. This was due to record high monthly import expenditure and despite consistently high export earnings exceeding $1 billion. During the year 2021, the trade deficit widened notably, driven by considerable increase in imports that outpaced the growth in exports. Tourist arrivals continued the growth momentum in December with a notable increase over the previous month. Meanwhile, workers' remittances recorded month-on-month growth in December 2021, mainly reflecting the response to the incentive scheme introduced for remittances and seasonal increase. The deficit in the trade account widened to highest ever monthly value of $1,085 million in December 2021, compared to the deficit of $562 million recorded in December 2020. The cumulative deficit in the trade account in 2021 also widened to $8,136 million from $6,008 million recorded in 2020. Terms of trade, being the ratio of the price of exports to the price of imports, improved by 4.6% in December 2021 compared to December 2020, as the increase in export prices surpassed the increase in import prices. Meanwhile, the terms of trade for 2021 deteriorated by 7.8% compared to the previous year. Increases in earnings were observed across all main categories, while industrial exports mainly contributed to the expansion. Meanwhile, cumulative export earnings in 2021 increased by 24.4% to $12,502 million compared to $10,047 million recorded during 2020. This is the highest ever export earnings for a year recorded in history compared to previous highest export earnings of $11,940 million that was recorded in 2019. Earnings from the export of industrial goods increased by 21.3% in December 2021 compared to December 2020. This increase was due to a broad-based increase in earnings from most of the industrial products led by garments, petroleum products, food, beverages, and tobacco and rubber products. However, a decline in earnings was reported in the category of printing industry products, mainly currency notes. Export of garments to all major markets improved, and earnings from the export of petroleum products increased mainly due to increase in prices of bunker fuel exports. Earnings from the export of food, beverages, and tobacco increased mainly due to tobacco products such as cigarettes. Tires led the increase in export earnings generated by rubber products. Meanwhile, the cumulative earnings from the export of industrial goods increased by 26.5% compared to the year 2020, mainly driven by garments, rubber products, machinery and mechanical appliances, petroleum products, and food, beverages, and tobacco. Total earnings from the export of agricultural goods in December 2021 increased by 14.3% compared to December 2020, mainly due to increase in export earnings from seafood, mainly fresh and frozen tuna, spices, mainly pepper, minor agricultural products, mainly edible nuts, and coconut, mainly desiccated coconut. Meanwhile, export earnings from tea decreased by 2.1% year-on-year in December 2021 due to lower export unit price by 3.0% despite a growth of 1% in export volume. The cumulative export earnings of agricultural goods increased by 16.8% compared to the last year, mainly due to the increase in export earnings from spices, seafood, tea and coconut. The Vavuniya campus affiliated to the Jaffna University has been declared as Vavuniya University, and the official ceremony to declare the campus as a national university took place last Friday under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Accordingly, the Vavuniya University will be added to the history as the 70th state university in the country. The students and the lecturers have been requesting for a long time to upgrade the Vavuniya campus to a national university. Taking this into consideration, the government developed the University of Vavuniya as a smart university with modern facilities including lecture halls, facility buildings and playgrounds under the Higher Education Development Program. President Rajapaksa unveiled the plaque marking the upgradings of the Vavuniya campus into a national university and handed over the university's Center for Information Technology and the Center for Coexistence to students. Speaking during the ceremony, President Rajapaksa stated that it was the government's intention to create intellectuals that are resilient to social changes through education. High Commissioner of Rwanda to Sri Lanka, Jacqueline Mukanjira, states that the Rwanda Private Sector Federation plans to visit Sri Lanka next month to explore opportunities of bilateral trade and investment. Addressing a webinar on opportunities for doing business with Rwanda organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce and the Honorary Consulate of Rwanda in Sri Lanka, High Commissioner Mukanjira accepted the invitation extended by the Deputy Secretary General of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Alki Pereira, to the Private Sector Federation Rwanda to organize a business promotion mission to Sri Lanka later this year. High Commissioner Mukanjira also requested the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce to lead a business delegation to Rwanda this year to explore trade and investment opportunities in Rwanda. The sixth fastest growing economy in Africa with an average GDP growth of approximately 8% annually, Rwanda is home to both a state public and private sector. Rwanda is currently ranking second for the ease of doing business and having the lowest debt ratio in the region, and is actively encouraging bilateral trade and investments, offering multiple opportunities for Sri Lankan business to expand their horizons in Rwanda. Stay tuned for more news. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
Now, you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts.
Alexa, get me some extra GB.
For the first time in Sri Lanka, manage your SLT Mobitel home services with an Alexa device or the app.
Connecting you with the latest tech.
SLT Mobitel, the connection.
Welcome back to the State of Business. State Minister of Regional Cooperation Taraka Balasuriya recently stated that significant strides in establishing free trade agreements with Bangladesh and the Maldives, in addition to existing FTAs, will pave the way to initiate FTAs with the most Southeast Asian countries by next year, enhancing Sri Lanka's position as an attractive destination for foreign direct investment. Speaking at a webinar organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce and the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry aimed at promoting bilateral trade between the two countries, State Minister Balasuriya expressed the desire for greater collaboration between the two countries, highlighting Sri Lanka's burgeoning ICT industry as likely to be a particular interest of Ukraine, which is renowned for its ICT capabilities and for having the best codes in the world. Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Vish Govind Dasami, cited many opportunities to invest in Sri Lanka, including immediate opportunities for the manufacturing sector to invest in the dedicated pharmaceuticals and textile zones, the power and the energy sector, and hospitality and tourist projects at the port city Colombo. The president of the UCCI said that while certain Sri Lankan exports such as Sri Lankan tea, which holds 33% of the tea market in Ukraine, are dynamic, there is potential to further develop trade and collaboration, especially between the two chambers, in order to accelerate opportunities for cooperation. The Deputy Minister of Economy of Ukraine echoed these sentiments, welcoming greater collaboration in order to enhance economic relations between the two countries. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has declared electricity and all services related to health as essential services. Issuing a special gazette notice, the President declared the supply of electricity, all service, work or labor of any description whatsoever, necessary or required to be done in connection with the maintenance and the reception, care, feeding and treatment of patients in hospitals, nursing homes, dispensaries and other similar institutions as essential services. The President considered it necessary that the services specified in the Gazette provided by any public corporation or government department or local authority or corporate society or any branch thereof, being a department of corporation or local authority or corporate society, is essential to the life of the community and is likely to be impeded or interrupted. The Embassy of Sri Lanka in Doha, in coordination with Lulu Group, launched a multifaceted Sri Lanka promotional event titled Taste of Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka Handloom and Batik Sari Fest, with a view to augment the image of the country amongst the nationals of the Qatar and foreign expatriates residing in the state of Qatar. The event was organized to coincide with the celebrations of the 74th anniversary of independence of Sri Lanka. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to the state of Qatar, Mahfaz Mohideen, inaugurated this mega event on 6 February 2022, along with Director Lulu Group at the Lulu Hypermarket in Doha. A large number of invitees and guests, including corporate leaders and businessmen, importers of goods and services from Sri Lanka, members of the media, among others, attended the ceremony. The event will showcase in all 17 Lulu hypermarket stores in Qatar until 12 February 2022. Lulu Group International is one of the largest retail chains in Asia and the largest in the Middle East region. Stay tuned for stock updates. We'll be right back after another commercial break.
Now, you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts.
Welcome back to the State of Business. Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The all-share price index gained 11.01 points to close at 12,470.81, and the S&P SL20 gained 14.13 points to close at 4,233.55. The turnover was 2.2 billion rupees and over 72 million shares were traded. Coming up next with foreign exchange rates. With that, we wind up today's news. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.
Alexa, get me some extra GB.
For the first time in Sri Lanka, manage your SLT Mobitel home services with an Alexa device or the app.
Connecting you with the latest tech.
SLT Mobitel, the connection.
State of Business was sponsored by
Multiple devices එකවර connect කළ හැකි internet like a boss. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
IWS Aviation.